Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly reading for September 15th to the 22nd. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Leo, you were coming after that lunar eclipse in Pisces. And yeah, we're doing this at night. I got this big old light in front of me. But let's go for it. Let's go for it. Leo, I just wanted to, remind you, you're coming after that lunar eclipse in Pisces. So remember that it's not a one-time thing. It's like you're going to feel the impact of that. And that was in your 8th house. And you have Saturn that retrograde back into your 8th house as well. And so you're going through some significant transformation, and there may be some money matters that we'll discuss that you're possibly thinking about, that's really on your mind, investing, saving, things like that. All right. But the other thing is, this is the weekend right before, right? On the 13th, 14th, that's when the Sun and Mercury sextile Jupiter. So that's amazing. Those are the best aspects of the month. I really love that for you. That's really great. I think that there's, still money stuff there too, because the Sun in Virgo. Virgo does rule your second house of earned income, salary, finances. So it's a big week for money for y'all, Leos. But so there could have been, it just looks like a lot of y'all got new jobs or maybe new clients, or maybe you started something on your own, but there was, some wheels in motion there. All right. Now, the other and it is spilling over. Those are strong aspects. Remember, it's part of the Mercury Cazimi as well. So it could have been even light bulb moments and clarity that you had over money spilling over into this week. Now, here's the thing about this week. There's a lot of aspects not even on the whiteboard. We just don't have, there's too much. And so I'm going to walk you through them. Okay. But just know this is a loaded week, especially when we get to Wednesday, Thursday, up until the eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse in Virgo on Sunday, which we will talk about next week because that's a whole thing on its own. There's way too much happening here, and I want you to be prepared for the eclipse. Okay. This is going to be a big week of reality checks. All right. Are we good on that? All right. You're definitely going to remember this week. It's got to be like your first kiss. Speaking of which, Monday, September 15th, we do have Venus sextile Mars. Venus and Leo. Yeah, your sign. You still have Venus in your sign. I hope you know that. And Mars and Libra. So fire and air blend well together. So do Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovebirds. Now, Mars happens to be in Venus's home. He's on his best behavior, as that's him in Libra. All right. So this is actually really fun. This is very social, very flirty. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. Okay. So very, when I say social, well, Mars and Libra rules your 3rd house of communication and writing and thinking and, launching businesses and a lot of partnership activity here, a lot of family energy here as well, like siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, even neighbors. That may be a thing, okay? The next week we'll talk about, but there's definitely like even creativity, there's chemistry, okay? Collaboration, there's love, there's romance. You get how this works. There's chemistry, but compromise too. Now, Venus is love and money and beauty and luxury, and Mars is action and drive and ambition. Yeah. So you do the math. This is really great, okay? If Venus is what your heart desires, Mars is how you get it. Mars is action. You take that action. And a lot of it for y'all will be through communication, all right? Or PR, advertising, marketing, branding yourself. I mean, this is the 3rd house. Local community could be in the mix here, as well as learning something new, taking a course, maybe even teaching yourself as well, okay? So really use this aspect. Go get what you deserve. And do it fast before you get to Wednesday. And Tuesday, by the way, it's not on the whiteboard, but the moon will be in Cancer. The moon rules Cancer and will conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So we'll talk about that in the second spread. Really sweet. Now, Wednesday, September 17th, this is when things get a little, you see Mercury opposite Saturn. Neptune as well. That's happening the next day, but they come as a package. Remember, Saturn is still conjunct Neptune. They're still very close. Even though Saturn's in a different sign, they're still right there, okay? Right at that 29 degree mark. And it's an opposition. So Mercury is in Virgo. Mercury is exalted in Virgo, does really well here, very analytical, really focused thinking, communication, conversations, etc. And remember, Virgo rules your second house. So it's not only finances, it can be relationships as well. It can also be your things that you value, material possessions, self-worth, self-value as well, building confidence in that area. Saturn in your 8th is the other money house in the zodiac wheel. So you see how the two money houses in astrology are activated strongly on this day for you. And the 8th house is other people's money. It's shared resources. So like I said, that would be like investments, inheritance, bonuses, commissions, loans, taxes, royalties, joint bank accounts. Keep that in mind. Yeah, remember, you have the North Node here, so you're learning big lessons in this area of your life. The 8th house is also wealth building. It's partnership building. So there's a big element of partnerships that's happening for you this week, okay, as well as money. Now, Saturn is the authority, and this is an opposition. And Saturn has really come out with his aviators on. He's wearing the good boots. Like, that's Saturn right now. And he's going to be a little bit of a roadblock. And so with the fact that you have Mercury in Virgo, which is really, really strong, does really good, there's something here about relationships and money that you will be exploring as part of your transformation. Okay? Remember, Saturn moved back into Pisces. Yeah, that happened the beginning of September. And so what I want you to think in retrograde, so think about March 2023, from that point forward, what were the biggest lessons you learned when it came to not only your personal transformation, but also your growth, things that have to do with money, shared resources, as well as partnerships. Okay, you could have been tested there, and that does include, it includes like business partners too. Yeah, so Saturn's giving you a little pop quiz. He's giving you a little pop quiz. Remember, you cannot pass without passing Saturn's test. All right. Now, the fact you've got Mars and Libra too. Yeah. So you can throw in legal matters here. Libra does rule your 3rd house. So you see how a lot of communication is activated for you. Okay. And so, and agreements and signing things, like there's legal matters. They're maybe not seeing eye to eye. It is an opposition. It can also extend to lovers and partnerships, one-on-one connections, maybe your best friend, maybe your private driver, your assets manager, whatever it is. There's something here where you're going to have to navigate. Okay. There's Mercury opposite Neptune as well. So again, package deal, you're going to start feeling it this day as well. And that is confusion. I've talked about Neptune retrograde. Neptune's still in Aries in your 9th house. So there could be a little bit of confusion, deception, miscommunication. Okay. There could be something here that could be testing you spiritually. There could be something here with travel, big theme for you right now as well. All right. So keep that in mind. Maybe not seeing eye to eye with someone you're planning a road trip with, as well as education and learning. Those are big things. That could even be maybe a teacher or you as a teacher, maybe your students or just be mindful, because there's got to be some things where you're going to have to use Mercury. The last day Mercury will be in Virgo, where Mercury's exalted. Use Mercury to discern what is real, what's not real. Are you telling me the truth? Is this a big WTF moment, bomb that you drummed up me? Like, what's going on here? Like, that may happen. Okay. So what do you do this day then? Right? Well, you know what I'm going to say. You vibrate at that high frequency. But no, to be honest, like another thing that you can do, this is a day, try to avoid major talks. They're possibly going to be coming up around this time, but treat it as like casual Friday. You want to have fun social conversations. Do not pull your, wealth manager to the side and say, well, we need to talk, because they're going through this aspect too. Yeah. And it's just a day where people may not see eye to eye. All right. So you want to just save any important conversations for later or have it in the beginning of the week where it's better aspects. All right. Now, the good news is you still have Mercury and Virgo at a critical degree, right? 29 degrees. So really strong communication here. You're going to be like really compelling. All right. Especially when it comes to money matters and something that just makes you feel really confident. And remember, everything's energy, including words. Yeah. And be mindful about the words that are spoken, words that you're putting into the ether. Remember, you're on a karmic journey. Everything has ripple effects, right? So Neptune, this opposition with Neptune, this is really great for you to use the higher expression of Neptune, which would be the arts, music, dance, film, creativity, imagination. Yeah, things that bring you to that high frequency, hemisync. We talked about this. Yeah. Go take your colleagues, have a C-suite meeting at the, Guggenheim or something. Just do something where people are inspired. Yeah, that's what you want to do. Okay. Now, the other thing is, one of the reasons I'm harping on this, I'll tell you in a second, but another reason is because Mars will be opposite Chiron. Now, this is, again, kind of a squeeze. Eris, Mars's sister, the divine goddess warrior, yeah, is not seeing eye to eye with her brother. It's an opposition. And Eris happens to be on top of Chiron, the wounded healer. So this is also really strong. Okay. We'll talk about in the second spread. Now, Thursday, September 18th, Mercury moves into Libra. This you may feel Wednesday. It depends on where you live. It's happening, 6 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. This is a big deal. Mars, who is in Libra, is excited to have company. There's a lot of focus now. They're tag teaming for you in your third house, right? Diplomacy, partnerships, marriage. Those are going to be big themes for you, but also, again, family energy, siblings, travel, learning new things, launching businesses, launching things, selling things, everything that I mentioned about that third house, travel even as well. All right. This is makeup energy. So if you've not been seeing eye to eye with some people, this is your time. Okay, to kiss and make up, forgive and forget. You've probably been going through some experiences. It is eclipse season. Okay, this is all part of your growth. And I say that because now we are at that point where things get a little. All right, so remember, all the planets are retrograde, outer planets. And I talked about this in your monthly forecast. Take a look at that. They're at a standstill. All right, they want you to reassess situations and they want you to move slowly to thrive. So yeah, there's a lot happening. And you may feel a little bit of, I really want to move. It's like walking through quicksand a little bit, but at the same time, there's a reason why, right? It's like if you are, sent off to quiet time or something, you got to reflect. And that's what the outer planets are kind of making everybody on this planet do. All right. So keep that in mind. But from this point forward, up until the eclipse that you are already feeling this week, as well as the lunar eclipse that just happened, because remember, those energies are strong, it is crunch time. All right. You are going to feel winds of change. And I say that because every single planet, the sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, every single one except Jupiter, every single one will be between 28 to 0 degrees. Yeah, those are critical degrees. That's that reset. And this is a big pile up. It's a dance off, okay? Footloose, whatever you want, but there's weight to it. There's gravitas, all right? Again, what's happening here may not be easy, and I'm just letting you know, all the outer planets, because they are retrograde, they are just kind of at a standstill, and they're getting in the way for the inner planets to do their work for you. So a lot of bumping planets. Yeah. And it's happening right at the time of the eclipse, right at the time of the equinox. So you are going to have a lot of conversations. You are going to be communicating a lot. It could be through emails and text, whatever it is, if it's not in person or over the phone, landline, whatever you got, a lot of family stuff, like I said, but just bear that in mind. I did say in your monthly forecast, the planets have come out to play this month. This is the week. They're in a schoolyard with rubber baseball bats. And I have been saying that, sure, you're going to feel a little bit of a squeeze this week. But this is the week. Remember that prison portal, it's years long. If you don't know what it is, I'll leave it in the description box what you can expect for you, Leo, for the next 2 years. But 2 years long is the biggest concentration of that energy. And part of it is Pluto trine Uranus and a lot of other things. But expect breakdowns for breakthrough. And you are starting to see that. You're seeing it, even on the world stage. I've talked about this. I did that video with Nick Dagan Best for what you can expect for September. It's eclipse season, but it's also this. All right. And on the Great Awakener. Yes, of course, I'm going to plug my website. And thank you, everyone, for joining. It's so much fun. But yeah, that is where I can talk about things that I cannot talk about here or would not talk about here, like the economy, like geopolitical events and geophysical events and AI, all of that. Just expect change. Everybody on this planet will be experiencing change. Like I said, this is a reset of a week. Okay? We have yods. We have kites. We have the whole shebang. There are so many complex alignments that are happening this week. That's why I can't even put them up here. It would take like 2 whiteboards to explain, but just know the biggest takeaway, every planet that I just mentioned, excluding Jupiter, passing between those critical degrees, 28, 29, 0, 1, and they're not friendly aspects. Okay? There is a kite formation that involves Mercury, Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune at the apex. And Neptune is actually like a beacon sending you signals to use your imagination, to be creative, but also to tap into your spiritual warrior. Yeah. And that's you becoming the authority, because remember, like I said, Neptune is still conjunct Saturn. Yeah, it may be loose, but they're still conjunct. This is your 9th house of spirituality. All right. And believe it or not, even though this week Saturn, put on the good boots, he is, and to be an authority, he's coming on strong. He's still helping you turn your dreams into reality. That's what he does with Neptune. So in weeks like this, when Saturn is at odds with a number of planets, sometimes he makes you do it his way. Yeah. But here's the thing, you create your reality. Okay. Remember, you're all part of this spiritual journey. You've got your spiritual journey. This is a week where these aspects are allowing you to make the changes you need to make, but also because they're all retrograde, the outer planets, make the changes you needed to make that you haven't made yet. All right? There's going to be things coming up from the past. And remember, everything is energy. What you put out there, you receive in kind. So if you are vibrating at that high frequency of compassion and love and gratitude and self-love, this is going to be a cakewalk. Yep. You're going to be sitting in that throne that is carried by people. You're going to be fine. The good news, there's good news. We do have that the grand air trine that I talk about in your monthly forecast, that pyramid. Now you got Mercury in Libra, trine Uranus in Gemini, trine Pluto in Aquarius. And then remember, Uranus is trining Pluto, all at that early degree point, that 1 degree point of new beginnings. You're going to feel this days before, days after. It's that strong, and it is like a floaty. It's like a life raft, because it's all air signs. I'll stop. Anyway, what's really great about this is I love the placements here for you. This works in your favor. Remember, trines are very auspicious. They have the nature of Jupiter. They're favorable. Yeah. And they're air signs, communication, thinking, thoughts, all of that. So what's going to happen this week? Well, you're going to feel those running into those outer planets. However, what's really great is you see that this grand air trine, so it's hitting your third house of communication, your 11th house of your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, dreams, and also your squad, your social network, your support system, and your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, marriage, love, contracts. This is great. This is when you could maybe, announce great news, write a compelling letter, receive good news. I mean, it's wonderful. And remember, you do have the luxury of having Mars and Libra in your third of communication and agreements. Social media, this activates social media for you too. This air trine, and remember, you'll feel it days before, days after. So there could be something really great if you're a content creator or you need to get a message out there. Really, really nice. Yeah. So the thing. Did you like that dramatic pause? The thing is, Pluto is activated, yeah, as part of this air trine. So, the big question for you, Leo, because Pluto in Aquarius rules your 7th, Pluto natively rules your 4th. What's underneath the surface? What has to come out? What needs to be revealed? What are you holding in? What is the transformation that you seek? Those are going to be questions that are going to be that you may think about. Okay, just letting you know, Pluto's activated, so is Uranus. So Mercury being intellect, the mind, you can be, really clever here. This is, again, all about diplomacy. It's networking, it's social, it's communicating. It's 3 air signs, right? That's all lit, as the kids say. And Libra is peace. Remember that. So Mercury's here. So making peace, like I said, that could be a big thing. And Uranus trine Pluto, part of the prism portal, still in effect. It really is a core aspect that's driving you into 2026. And remember, what that is, breakthrough energy, okay? Even if it's having your breaking things down to have your breakthrough, because there is a mosh pit, like I said, of astrology that's happening this week that can be a little bit of a tingle, all right? And so, yes, what that means is if you need to have your tower moment, have your tower moment, okay? Phoenix rising from the ashes, because this is a week where it's saying something has to go if it hasn't been gone yet. All right, cool. And the thing that I was going to say, well, let's just keep it. I'll tell you at the end. The great thing about this day, and the reason I think that you may feel emotionally amplified, is because the moon will be in your sign. And the moon will trine Ceres. That's in Aries, which is great. And we'll talk about in the second spread, but the same day that that's happening, Juno in Scorpio. Juno, remember, Jupiter's wife, sextiling the sun in Virgo. So I love that. There's some big things happening for you. Again, we'll talk about the second spread now. September 19th. This is Friday. Venus is going to be in Virgo. So love, money, creativity, creative projects, relationships, beauty, everything that Venus represents, you are going to now scrutinize. Okay? That's Venus in Virgo. Virgo is all about the details, can be nitpicky. And you're going to have this laser vision on the health of your relationships and colleagues as well. And money. Making money, maybe looking at new jobs, new careers. A lot of y'all are gonna have possibly like really big career moments in November, but for now, just know that we're still in Virgo season. And remember, that's all about health, healthcare, the, wealth of, home, family, relationships, things like that. Okay. But also work, colleagues. Now, that mosh pit of aspects, that is still happening. All right. We do have a yod this day. We call it the finger of God, and it is very powerful. And at this point, the bigger takeaway, honestly, for you would be that you've got the sun, moon, Venus, and the south node all in Virgo. Okay. And again, they're not really aligning with Saturn. So there's that butting heads with money, All right. But also you may be questioning your worth. All right. Am I worth, do I have what it takes for this job or this salary or all of that? Okay. Do not, and I repeat, do not be hard on yourself, be self-critical. Remember, that can be those lower frequencies of Virgo that I talked about with the South Node in Virgo. And it is in your second house. No one else is. Your second house of self-worth. All right? So please do not be hard on yourself, because there are going to be some things. Again, it can be authority figures that you don't see eye to eye with. You're Leo, okay? Hold on to your confidence. Channel all that energy into Virgo's higher expression of self-care and service to others. Yeah? Because everyone in the world will be experiencing these aspects, okay? Pluto and Uranus together with all these other aspects. Remember, look at your monthly forecast. It's your revolution, your personal revolution. It's your evolution. It's transformation. Everyone's going through transformation, okay? Everyone's on a karmic journey. The South Node, right? The karmic node of fate here in Virgo. Yeah, this is your karmic journey. So just be mindful of this week, especially with communication. Always be the best person in a situation. Stay frosty, be cool. Should anything come up, like I said, if you're already at a high frequency, you're just gonna slide on by. And then Friday, the moon is going to be traveling with Venus into Virgo together, hand in hand. So therefore they will be conjuncting. So that's also a thing. And it's so funny because Mercury's just left Virgo. So they're kind of, swapping places. But either way, we'll talk more about that in your second spread. But you do see that the moon is already going to be in Virgo on Friday, building up to the eclipse on Sunday. But Saturday, you have Venus in Virgo square Uranus in Gemini. Might be a thing here. Might be a thing. Just listen. This is, again, a square, so there can be a little bit of, that squeeze with a friendship, with a group that you belong to. It may involve money. So might be something that has to do with money or love or relationships. It doesn't have to be friendships, right? It can be relationships. Remember, even though this is happening, you still have Uranus trine Pluto in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships. You have Mercury and Mars in Libra that rules partnerships and relationships. So you see that overlap that's happening for you, Leo. All right. There can feel like there may be like a little bit of a tug of war here as well. There can be surprises that you get. It could even be your awakening, this wake up call when it has to do with love, money, relationships, unexpected messages. Fortunately, you do have that air trine that I talked about. Really great. Uranus, do never forget. Uranus wants you to shake things up. Uranus wants you to shake out the old. It's all about out with the old system, in with the new system you're implementing for your new era. All right. Uranus is breakthroughs, okay? And it's all about, in Gemini, freeing your mind, expanding your consciousness, taking risks, being curious. At the end of the day, just having your breakthrough. And then you do have, and this is when you will start feeling the sun in Virgo opposite Saturn in Pisces. So again, those are the 2 money houses for you, and it's baked into this eclipse. All right. So really good time to ask yourself at this point, what do you have to surrender before the eclipse takes you on a whole new path? Yep. South Node is on this eclipse. And thank you everyone who has joined. And by the way, that's the other thing is greatawakener.com. Y'all, it is your promo codes still work. You still got 50 to 75% off. I haven't even, So and thank you so much for joining. We've been having so much fun. All live streams, and I just brought on Alex Janelli, hypnotherapist. So now, hey, you get live free hypnotherapy sessions. Anyway, let's get, and thank you to everybody, by the way, for all your comments. I know that things have been, I will maybe do like a live stream or something explaining all the health issues that I've been going through. And by the time you see this video, Ruby will have gone through her stem cell thing. Anyway, but thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. And remember, it is Virgo season, so please take care of your health as well. All right, so let's get started. September 15th to the 22nd. For Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Leo, yeah, eclipse season is wild. And remember, this is just a very atypically strong eclipse season. Eclipse seasons are strong. But you do see that there's a lot happening this week, and a lot of it's with these oppositions, okay? So remember, don't resist change. Trust your intuition. Where do you need to be? Yeah. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Leo. Secondly, y'all are amazing. I got this big old bright light. I might just have to put on my glass. I mean, maybe I need sunglasses. I don't know. I got any sunglasses here? I don't know. Well, maybe I will for the next. Who am I doing next? Virgo. Oh, they're gonna love theirs. Okay, so Leo, let's see. Yes. Yeah. It's gonna be a week. Can you even see this? I have to. That's the other thing. My I have to use this setup. Okay. Well, you're gonna be good. You just got to do one thing, and it's literally the last thing that I told you to do, right? What do you have to surrender before the eclipse? Takes you on a new path, all right? You got the 5 of Wands. All right, so the reason why I was telling you, out of all the signs, you have Mercury, you have Mars in Libra in your 3rd house, which is diplomacy. What did I say that is, right? And what's that? So, by the way, this is your card. I don't know if you know that. This is your card. It's a Leo card for a second. But here's the thing. When you have Mars, I think I told you Mars doesn't do well in Libra. Neither does Mercury. Okay? Mars is a sign of war. Libra is a sign of peace. It doesn't do well. And it's in your 3rd house of communication. So communication may have been a little, we all need to get along. That's what this card is saying, because this is the easy part, right? This is the easy part. All that has to happen here is someone has to rise above, be that leader and say, y'all, we need to get along. Let's see eye to eye. Okay. Fixed. So you may have a little bit of moving into this week. And like I said, you already may have been going through it because of the eclipses. Saturn moving back into Pisces. Yeah. In your 8th. And so we need to rise above, because this is not even worth your time. There's bigger fish to fry. There's bigger things. You got goals, you got dreams, you got plans. You got to make that happen. So whatever this is, let's try to make peace. And that's the other thing. When you have, okay, if you're not seeing eye to eye with someone, let's say it's a relative or a boss or a colleague or your friend, and both of y'all, it's like, you know, like an 80s movie poster. Y'all are back to back. You're mad at each other. Someone has to be the first person to talk. Yep. We got to put egos to the side. Whether or not that conversation comes out the way you want it to or not, at least you did your best. Okay, Leo? At least you did your best. You are on a karmic journey. All right? So, you have another 5. 5 are challenge cards. You have the 5 of Cups. You don't fix that, could be some regret. It could be some, this is a card of emotional healing is what is necessary with this. Look at him looking back at the cups. All right. So laser focused on the spilled cups, he can't even see what's in front of him, which are 2 cups that are full. These are spilled. You can't, the wine, you can't drink the wine off the ground. That's spilled. We got to leave it in the past. What do you have to surrender? But look at what's happening here. Okay. So again, there may be something that just comes up. Let's practice patience, stay frosty, be cool. Think of Snoopy wearing sunglasses, whatever you got to do. But this has got to, all right? And we want to avoid that situation and make peace. You have that 4 of Wands in your challenge area too. So it can have to do with a relationship, a marriage, something that has to do with work. Maybe something in work went a little bit sideways. Maybe there's something here. Well, there's someone else involved, right? Very possible. There could also be, even in a relationship, maybe someone broke up with you. Maybe, your office cut what is it called? Cut the thing, like some people. What is it called? I'm sorry. I can't even, it's so late right now. But you get what I'm saying. Okay. Now, one thing that I was going to bring up, the thing I was going to tell you is that you will next week, Mars will move into Scorpio. So that is your 4th house of home and family and the foundations of your life. So it does include like marriage and your significant other. And like I said, you already have Pluto in Aquarius, very active this week, next week, years long, right? 19 years. And your 7th house of marriage and partnerships. So there may be some, we need to speak. Okay. If there is some things there, but again, it doesn't have to be. It can be your relationship with your boss, your business partner, whatever that may be. You do have that 6 of Swords and you do have the 9 of Pentacles. So that's really great. There is a sense of like, yeah, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's kiss and make up. Literally, you can't make this up. You do see the water under the bridge, right? So it's really, again, just moving with that energy, especially with that 6 of Swords. You even see the boat here. You see the turbulent water right where my finger is. Look at the direction they're going. They're moving past it. It's smooth sailing from this moment forward, and really may have to do with, partnerships. There is also like this sense of comfort, like once it's done, like what a relief. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles of the Reader spread. There's something inside you waiting to come out. And it's fierce, independent. I earned my spot. I'm at this place of a lot of wealth with the 9 of Pentacles. But also like abundance. And there's so much self-sufficiency in this card. A lot of independence. And it just feels like there is something here that you're seeking. Okay. The other thing is this card is actually attributed to Venus and Virgo. The week that Venus moves into Virgo, it is a Virgo card. You even see the symbol of Venus all over her gown. So let that come out. And you're going to have to like this. I love the 6 of Swords there, but you see this, there's some stagnancy here, but you do have strength in your future. So very hopeful, very optimistic. It's you. That strength is your card. You do see the Lion. So it's just you feeling empowered again. There's something that may cause some low frequency energies, but again, it's all how you handle the situation. It's all avoidable. You create your reality. If there is something that comes up, make sure that it's, we do see eye to eye. Yeah. Let's get to your stuff. But yeah, that's great. I mean, infinite possibilities, right? Any path that you want to take moving forward, it's all possible. And you know it because you have that confidence, you have that self-belief, and that is something that is going to be tested with all these planets in Virgo and your 2nd house of self-belief opposite Saturn. If you like this reading, Leo, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, share, all of that. Y'all are amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes. And you all love it. All right, so Leo, y'all, come on. I can't even. You're the only sign with 3 letters. Anyway, so you got temperance, which is great. This is just saying everything I said. Don't like even your monthly forecast. I said it's an eclipse season. Don't try to force anything. Don't try, you kind of want to just navigate. Eclipses are game changers. You don't know what to expect. You kind of have to like navigate the waters. Yeah. And even with temperance here, temperance, if you are a cross watcher, has been coming out a lot. Yeah. You have an archangel here saying you're protected, you're guided. Just just go with the flow with the go, and just know any path that you're on, I'm going to make sure you get there. Okay. So even if you do feel like there's some blockages here, there are some things that may have happened that you're like, oh no, that happened. I got something better for you, or something just as good for you. Let go of the past. Let go of the past. And even remember, for a lot of y'all, things from the past may resurface, okay, with all these retrogrades and the South Node in Virgo. But you're good. You got the Ace of Cups. you got something really good waiting for you. Once you get past that, you're golden. Okay? You got the Ace of Cups, tears of joy, something brand new, something you've been excited for. And it can have to do with partnerships, relationships, heavily associated with like love and relationships, soulmate energy. You even see the dove at the top. What I really love about that, doves are universal symbols of peace and harmony. We have all this Libra energy, but doves also mate for life. Yeah. So remember, you've got Saturn, which is all about the long term. Yeah. In your 8th house of partnership building. You have a lot of partnership stuff happening. So it could even be a current relationship where there's this renewal, refresh. But for a lot of y'all, this could be just something new. And even if you're not here for that, this is Ace of Cups. This is your cup overflowing. Think about the last time that something happened that was so enormously joyful. It brought you to tears. Like, getting married or proposed to, or getting your dream job, or having a baby, or, watching the season finale of Game of Thrones, whatever it is. I don't even know. You're good. You're good. That's all I got to say. Okay. But you got to get there is what I'm saying. You've got to pass these tests. You got to get there. Go get it. What I say with Mars, Exile, Venus, you go get it. Go get what you deserve. Now, 8 of Pentacles, amazing. That's it. Just move forward. Continue to move forward. This is all it's saying is that, yeah, there's got to be some patience. Let's practice patience. Let's hone in on what we want for our legacy. Yeah. Focus on that. Don't let anything get your way, okay? You work hard. You play by Saturn's rules too. By the way, this card is a trip. This is Sun in Virgo. Yeah? You do the work. Remember, Virgo is like that hardworking, diligent, like service to others. Even the work that you're doing, whatever you're doing, it's providing for the collective, all of that. But it's you focusing on your work, on your legacy, okay? You put in the work where Saturn wants you to. Make that money, because it is a Virgo card. Virgo rules your second house of money. Yeah. And that's what you get. Remember, you earn that. And then lastly, you get the Knight of Cups in your final outcome. So partnerships, relationships, definitely a big thing here. And it can be creative partners. It can be love. It can be business, whatever it is. There is something here where you're just like, oh, I feel good. I feel free. There's definitely partner in crime energy. And maybe even if you're in a relationship or partnership, after this, it just gets good. But a lot of y'all, you're going to meet someone new. There's something new coming in. Remember, you have everything happening this week is building up to that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, right? So that's really amazing. And so, yeah, it definitely can be something. There is a lot of like creative energy here, but we've got to let that go. Yeah. Leo, you're actually really, really good, but there's got to be something that you're going to have to let go. It may be hard for you to do that, but it's time. Okay? It's time. You have those 2 cups. Yeah, you have the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, you have the 2 cups referencing the 2 of Cups right behind you. All you got to do is move forward. Get back in the zone, get back in the saddle. All right, so Leo, next week, yeah, Mars is moving to Scorpio. That's that's big, but it's also the eclipse, also Libra season, also equinox, like really big stuff. Yeah. And yeah, second spread, we'll pull more cards. We're going to look. Yeah. We'll go over the aspects. Tier 3 members, really good and legendary members. You know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, especially when we see some of the same cards coming up. You know, that's a really big sign. Anyway, Leo, look at my hair. Leo, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on. I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.